Well, I think that the roster construction this year gives us quite a bit of depth compared to where we were at last year. We're really excited about some of the talent that we were able to bring in here this fall and compete. And, watching these guys compete on the field all fall, and you could sense that there was an attitude about them, that the way they carry themselves, the way that they play the game, and their own expectations. I don't think that as a coaching staff we've had to put expectations on them as far as we want to do this spring. They've kind of set it themselves. And I think whenever you have a team that starts leading by example or setting expectations without the coaching staff, it's encouraging because they expect a certain level of play from themselves. And the guys we were able to bring in here and the guys that we brought back that had successful seasons for us last year, I think is a really good mix for why we're so excited about this spring. We're really excited about Jackson DeJean. We think he's one of the best catchers in the conference that we saw last year, and we think he's going to be one of the top guys this year as well. His bat went to a new level last year where he was always considered a very good defensive catcher, but the bat really caught up last year for us, and he was able to hold down one of the spots in the middle of our lineup for us. I think a year of going through that, and this being his senior year, is a great leader for our catcher position. We didn't have a lot of depth behind him last year, but we certainly do this year. We're really excited about one of our freshman catchers, Antonio Cordero, who we think is a really good player, had a really good fall with us, who kind of filled in as that number one catcher while Jackson was rehabbing, and did a great job. Led us in walks, tied for the team in home runs this fall, and a very good catch and throw guy. So we're excited about the combo of having a returning 3-year starter and having a high talent freshman that's here to kind of help with some of those reps behind the plate. And then we brought in a transfer, Robert Menino, who could play some outfield and has a history of catching as well. And he's played at some good spots. He was at Purdue University, he was at Florence Darlington Tech Junior College, and he's got a lot of confidence in his abilities, which just gives us some more depth back there. We've also got another freshman, Jeremiah Atwell, who is a strong freshman and still learning, still growing, but there's definitely some tools there with him. And we have a junior that's been here in the program for a while, Jack Polowitz, that has definitely improved this fall with his bat, and just gives us some added depth back there. The pitching staff I'm excited about. I think that we have a lot of different arms this year that feature a lot of different pitches and are different. It's a deep staff. I think we can go 17, 18 guys in our staff who can all offer different things, whether it's a submarine guy or an over-the-top guy or a three-quarter guy or a lefty. We'll have some matchups this year that we didn't necessarily have last year that we're really excited about. And those guys threw well this fall. And their stuff's only gotten better through our winter workouts. And anytime that you can have a guy here that wants that label as a number one pitcher, and we've got that with Michael Salina. The stuff is clearly there. He sat 95 to 98 all fall, showed the ability to throw strikes, pound the zone, and he's definitely a competitor, no doubt about it. So having a number one guy like that can kind of ease the pressure off some of these other guys of trying to fill that role of being a one. But we've got guys with experience. Gabe Watts is somebody that we invested a lot of time in last year. He had his best fall this fall. The numbers were really good. His velo is up. His pitchability is much better. So we expect him to come in and be one of those weekend guys for us because he has the experience back there. There's a strong competition for the other weekend spot, and maybe our midweek starter. Noah Tchaikovsky was somebody that we were very high on last year, but was a freshman, and he needed to learn and grow, and we think that he's done that. He had a really strong summer and backed it up with a great fall, and it's got great stuff. He's the type of student athlete that we want to invest in because he's the total package. We're really high on Noah. Cade Walker is a left-handed pitcher out of Chicago, from Cuesta Junior College in California, was definitely the surprise of the fall. He's a guy that we brought in to give some opportunity, obviously left-handed, long, lanky, 6'4". We were surprised what a great athlete he is. Can really field his position. He's a competitor, had a great fall for us, showed that competitive nature, and somebody we're really excited about. I think that he could fill a variety of roles for us as needed, but we're not limiting him to just being a bullpen guy. We think that he can start for us and log some of those innings, and I think he's a guy that will get better as the year goes on even. Tristan Champa is a junior college All-American who also had a great fall for us. We're excited about his stuff on the mound and the ability to do different things as well. He was a starter all last year, and then when the playoffs started, they moved him to kind of be the back end guy to kind of lock down some games. So he's got experience in both roles. We're excited to see what he can do for us for sure. The back end of the bullpen's a part we have to kind of figure out right now, but having Ryan O'Connell, who's got experience back there, is a guy that we're going to lean on early in the year, and hopefully he can fill that role for us left with Liam Devine graduating. But he had some big moments for us last year, big save in a conference game for us. So we feel like he has the stuff to do it, and he's got the experience in the conference as well. So very excited about the depth of possible starters, excited about the bullpen depth and the matchups that we have this year. It's a much deeper staff, and they've only been getting better during their time on campus. The infield is something that we feel really strong about. We are returning three-hole hitter from last year. Jack Putney kind of leads the way. He's a captain for us. We put Putney out there in the middle of our lineup every game last year, and he responded by being our best hitter. When you can hit 320, with double-digit doubles and throw some home runs on the board and drive in a lot of our runs for us, even in clutch moments, he's somebody that we're going to really rely on this year to be the middle of our lineup, kind of the anchor in there. And, he's a great kid. It's his senior year. He's excited about the team that we have, so really excited about what Jack gives us at third base as well. Kyle Kakamies is somebody that obviously I brought with me from Herkimer, have a long experience with him. I think he's the first player that I've had that I've coached for 4 years. So I know what he can do. He showed flashes of that last year. We just got to keep him healthy for a full season, and I think his numbers will prove why he's in the lineup every day. A big addition for us is David Marshall. David Marshall comes with us from DuPage Community College and was a all-region player that started at shortstop and hitting the three-hole for them for 2 years. He hit over 500 for most of the season last year, and he picked right up where he left off last spring this fall. He was our best hitter this fall, highest average, and he's a big-bodied shortstop. We think that he can handle the workload that it takes to play at the Division I level, especially at shortstop, where we can run him out there most every day. Very excited about what David can do for us at the shortstop position. He's really been the piece that's kind of brought the whole infield together, where we feel really good about the way we look up the middle, especially with him and Kyle. The last part of our infield will be Morgan Little. Morgan's somebody that we brought in from Potomac Community College. He's an all-region player, hit over 350 both years at the Division I junior college level. Great kid, gives us a left-handed power bat at that position, a great defender. He's the exact type of recruit that we look for in our program. So we're really excited about what Morgan will do over his 2 years here with us. Ryan Davis is another guy that could fill in at first base, another junior college transfer from Paris Community College down in Texas. Big body. If he's not playing first base, we could see him at the DH spot as well. But 6'6", left-handed hitter with some pop and a great student as well. I think Morgan and Ryan are two guys we're really excited about because we were happy when we got them, and they proved to be great players this fall and the type of student athletes that we're looking for here at St. Bonaventure. The outfield is returning Adam Ranke, who was a junior college All-American out of Erie Community College. Adam really solidified himself as a guy that we can rely on in our lineup. He had the most at-bats for us last year, played the most games, was projected to be our left fielder. We had an injury to our center fielder last year, and he filled that role for us in center field very well. So we know that he can play the center field position, but We do have him pushed back to a corner outfielder this year. So he's a rock for us out there for sure. Right field, we're looking to have Jay Starnish have a healthy season for us. Obviously, we were very high on him as a freshman last year, but an unfortunate injury kind of ended his season early. He's back, he's healthy, and we're excited about, putting a lot of time into him and seeing what he does as he grows throughout the spring for sure. Center field is a battle for us. We got Paul Vossen out there who went to the University of Iowa out of high school, and we feel really good about what he could provide as a possible leadoff guy or an exceptional 9-hitter, getting on base, stealing some bases. He's a great defender. But being a left-handed hitter, it's nice that we have a right-handed hitter complementing him in Chris Holcraft. Chris was a very good freshman for us last year, but just struggled a little bit when the spring came around. And I think it's in part to the fact that he's learning how Division I baseball works and the schedule being a little crazy, and it just kind of had a tough start to his career here. But he's had a great fall, showed the ability to play the center field position. The bat has come a long way, and a great kid. Really excited about having a left-handed and a right-hitting option in center field for us this year. Robert Menino will fill in the corner outfield spots. Gavin Constantine, a freshman out of Texas, is kind of a super utility guy for us. Played a great outfield this fall, was a shortstop in high school, can provide some depth at multiple positions for us. I think one of the strong points of this team is our depth. We've got guys that started for us last year that may fill into more different roles this year, but can provide us some much needed matchup situations. Mark Durachi, somebody that comes to mind who started for us in right field, but it gives us a right-handed bat with so many lefties that we may be featuring this year. We know what he can do. He's proven to be able to hit at this level, and I think the ability for him to play a couple different positions and give us some depth is something we're really excited about. Jagger Nucci, somebody that has had a lot of success here as a freshman and sophomore. Lost him last year to injury in the fall. Excited to see what he can do. Was our first base coach last year, so was out there every game with us. And I think sometimes when you have that perspective of being a coach a little bit and watching the team and helping, it can help you as a player in the future. And I think that we saw that this fall from him, where he was constantly working on his craft and things that he remembered us talking about last year and putting into play this year. So we're excited about the depth that he can provide us as well, because he's got the ability to play multiple positions, second, third, outfield, shortstop for sure. Artine Bayan is somebody that started for us at shortstop last year. He'll be our number one backup for the middle infield. And again, Kyle and David are both left-handed hitters, so having Artine as a right-handed hitter is the perfect backup for those guys, and he'll get his at-bats for sure. He had a much stronger fall this fall. I think a year of being here and adjusting from life in California can be a little bit of adjustment. So we're excited about what our team can provide us with some depth. We're really excited about our schedule this spring. To go down to a place like Citadel is a great opening weekend for us. Weather hopefully is not an issue down there. But I feel like it's a team that we can go compete with for sure. Kind of get our feet wet for this spring, because the following weekend we got to make a trip to Louisville. They're a great program, World Series contender every year, great coach, and it'll be a great experience for our guys to go to a place like Louisville and get to compete with them over a weekend. Following the Louisville trip, we've got dates with Presbyterian. Their head coach is somebody that I've known for a long time, and we're excited to go down to South Carolina and see that program and play with those guys, followed by a weekend down in Middle Tennessee. It's a return trip for us. We were there last year. Excited to go back down there. We've been there. We kind of have an idea of what it's like, and we can have a little bit of that feeling of knowing what we're to expect when we go there. Following the Tennessee trip, we have a date with Mount St. Mary's, who we also saw last year. So kind of finishing that out-of-conference schedule with places that we've been to, can give us that feeling of like, all right, we've done this before. We have that feeling. And then we do have a non-conference matchup with Rhode Island, but it's somebody that we played last year in our conference. And then we get right into our conference play. We have some interesting midweek matchups. Binghamton is a home and away series that we're excited about. I've had a long connection with that program, respect that coaching staff quite a bit. So excited to have 2 dates with them. We were able to add Penn State to the schedule this year with Coach Gambino in his first season there. Excited to get down there. And also added Pittsburgh to the schedule this year. So we've got some nice non-conference matchups for us midweek as well as on the weekends for a great full schedule for us for this spring. We're really excited about the way the schedule has looked for us.